When you are nervous, do this one thing. Move. Okay, so that's really it. You don't have to spend the rest of your time watching this video, but if you do spend a few minutes watching this video, I think you'll probably save yourself a few hours of mental wrestling. So as a 5 on the Enneagram, I tend to overthink everything, but quick movements help to unite my mind and body in one purpose. If you're not familiar with the Enneagram, I have a post on eating and exercise that I think will help you quickly identify maybe what you are based on your eating and exercise habits. So if you want to find that post, you can go to my website, kcbschuler.com/blog, or you can message me and I'll give that to you directly. So if you are familiar with the Enneagram, there is the head triad, which is numbers 5, 6, and 7. You tend to live in your head too much, and movement, I'm moving my hands, movement can help you break out of that mental struggle and into real results. So no matter where you are or who you are, where you are in the Enneagram, whether you are in any kind of typing system, this works whether you are nervous about going back into work, going live on a social media video, walking into a party with people you don't know, or really anything that you can get nervous about. So this kind of started when my daughter was starting kindergarten this past week, and I could tell that she was a little nervous. And I asked her, I said, "Are you nervous about your first day?" And she slowly nodded her head and looked down and at her untied shoelaces, because this is the first time that she's tying her shoelaces on her own. We've been practicing for this day, so there's lots of new things. And as we talk, I kind of guide her through the steps. We're moving our hands as we're talking. So she crosses the laces and picks the other end and pulls it through. And I tell her, the feeling of being nervous is the same feeling of being excited. The difference is, instead of being scared about the bad things that could happen, you think about one good thing that could happen. Instead of thinking, what if I don't have fun? You could think, what if I have fun? So she grabs the opposite ends of her laces as we're talking, pulls them down tight, and she looks down, and I can see that her wheels are starting to turn. So this is my chance to help move that nervous energy out and transform it into excitement. So why do we get nervous? Nervousness is thinking about everything that could go wrong, and excitement is thinking about what could go right. So the feelings are the same, but the thoughts are different. So imagine that you are about to go live on a video, but you start to get nervous. You feel your heart beating in your chest, and all the what ifs and the you can't do this feel suffocating. The physiological response of nervousness and excitement and excitement are the same. Increased heart rate, jitters, sweaty palms, you know the deal. So, but you're in charge of your thoughts. You can submit to this nervousness or step up to the throne room of the Lord and hand them over. So maybe you decide that you can't do it, but that God can. Or maybe you decide, maybe you answer all the what ifs with even ifs. Even if this happens, then God will still be with me. Instead of being nervous about how you're going to mess this up, you can get excited about what God can do and look up. So instead of backing out because you're nervous, you can move ahead in excitement. This slight mindset shift is subtle, but oh so crucial. So how can we get there? You can nudge this shift with movement. If nervousness is a feeling of powerlessness against all of the unknowns, then movement is one way to take real action. When we move, we regain confidence in our ability to make things happen. When we move, we harness the unbridled nervous energy into one singular purpose. Okay, it looks like a special guest decided to join us. She doesn't really get nervous. So, if we do get nervous, then exercise science has shown that exercising for just 5 minutes can help shut down the worry center of our brain. But sometimes we don't always have 5 minutes to run around the block. So, why? Oh my goodness. That's a very good movement. She's teaching us already. But just like athletes have different rituals to help get them pumped up and psyched up for a big performance, we can help use some of those strategies to help us break out of that nervousness and transform it into excitement. So scientists have tested 3 different methods of how to psych yourself up before a performance. And this is from one study that I've linked to. Number 1 is positive self-talk. Positive self-talk right here. Number 2. is visualization. Number 3 is if-then planning. Like, if this happens, then I will do that. So it's like planning beforehand. So which one do you think was most effective? The answer is, drum roll please. Oh, very good. Is positive self-talk. So if you believe that things will go well, then the rest will follow. So kind of like seek first his kingdom and the rest will follow. So you let your faith in the God who cannot fail lead the way. Store up scripture, truths, and affirmations to use for times when you need to break out of the nervous spin cycle. Let's get your little toy. And a few other strategies that athletes use that are proven to work and to help are intense breathing, like kind of like hyperventilating, like it starts to ramp up your energy system. High energy body language, intensity keywords, and music. So we're gonna combine all of these strategies into one exercise and we'll kind of explain this. Okay, so here it is. And scripture says to not be conformed to the ways of the world, but to be transformed to the image of Christ. So we're not going to be conformed to nervousness, but we will transform it into the power of the Lord, because we have the spirit of power, love, and self-control. So we are going to walk in that. So number 1, music. If you have a car ride ahead of you, then open up a playlist. I have one that I have linked to. It's called my hype playlist. It has jock jams and Spice Girls and all kinds of fun stuff, and it kind of helps me break out of my nervousness and kind of where I think I'm gonna mess up. It helps me laugh a little bit. What, you are a talker, aren't you? My goodness. This is like constantly, I'm constantly moving to grab her things that she's dropping. Okay, and then power prayers. So instead of ruminating on negative outcomes, you're gonna call out in faith what you are hoping for, even just something that you're thankful for, while doing these high energy body motions, which is kind of what they mentioned, which are clapping, pumping your fists, giving someone a high five. But if you have more space and just like really need a good confidence booster, doing a set of push-ups or jump squats is really helpful. But if you don't have the space to do that, then here are a few examples. So for like performance anxiety, if you want to use scripture with this, then you'll do claps. Like you can do claps like my weakness, his strength. Or like for social anxiety, you need to know that God is with you. So you can like point up, like Jesus is with me. So being able to like make that contact reminds your body and your mind, because they're connected, that God really is with you. Okay, so work anxiety. So you can do 2 claps, like all things through Christ, so like a little raise the roof motion. And if you feel silly doing this, then you're doing it right, because the best way to break up tension is with laughter. So use this as play. Don't, because if you have any kind of performance anxiety, play is the best way to break up the tension. Use it for excitement. So you don't have to do like claps, you don't have to do raise the roof or fist pumps, but they do really help to like get the energy going, get it out of here and out into here. So you can do skipping, you can do jumping jacks, but just don't take yourself too seriously, because as C.S. Lewis said, joy is the serious business of heaven. right, so if you're doing something with your kids and you need to help them not be so nervous, like with our oldest daughter, she, like, some days she just wouldn't get out of bed. So I couldn't be like, all right, let's do like some power claps, let's do some power prayers. Like, she would not be up for that. So I had to break her out of this like stress level into the next level. So there's a book called Wired for Joy, and she talks about different levels of stress. If you're in a high stress level, you got to move out of it to the next level so that you can really engage. So what I do for her is I just will like, I'll have stuffed animals, and I'll be like, and I'll just have them playing together. Like, oh no, Olaf is melting, it's so hot. Yeah, I know, because it's like, it's so hot on the playground today, and I have a stuffed angel like, I'll help you, I'll protect you. And so she stops thinking about school and she starts like looking at the animals, and then I have the angel like, I'm gonna protect you all the way through school, and I'm gonna be invisible and you won't even know. So a little bit of subliminal encouragement there to remind her that God is with her and that the angels are always with her, but it kind of helps break her out. So she is focused on play, and she's focused on those stuffed animals rather than like what bad could happen. So a few other things that you can do besides role play is you can pretend like you can play the clown. So like doing things wrong on purpose, like, oh, is this shoe supposed to go here? Is that how I get ready? And then they'll be like, no, and they'll laugh and laugh. Or you pretend to hurt yourself, like you run to the bathroom and then you pretend to stub your toe or fall or something. Like, kids love that stuff, and it reminds them, it like takes the pressure off of them. Or, you know, putting on dance music and just making a fool of yourself. So the pressure is no longer on them and they're no longer nervous. So once you have them laughing, then you can try a power prayer like this, and you can have it be two parts. Like you can say like, love God, and they'll have to respond by saying like, love others, like, let's go, like that type of high energy body movement. Or you can do like a team, like put two hands in, like, love God, love others. If they'll go for that, you know. But it could be fun, and just laugh about it. That's really most important. And I do this in my workout class too. So if I have a phrase that like I want us to focus on, for example, like the scripture for the day will be like, for joy, Jesus endured the cross. And so during the workout, I'll be like, for joy on 3, 1, 2, 3, for joy. And like everyone will yell it out. And it really helps get you through. It really helps me. It's like really playing around with her words and volume. Okay, so if you're in like the workplace or school environment and you can't exactly like do claps and run around, like do something silent, I'm gonna put you down for just a quick second. You can do a power pose, and it really does work. But like a power pose is like the typical like hands on hips, like chest high, chin lifted, and a smile on your face. And you can close your eyes and you can envision the Lord smiling back at you. Ask for His joy to be your strength, and you can go out in the power of His presence rather than thinking about your weaknesses. So people say like, hold your power pose for 2 minutes, but I really think just like lifting it up, it sends positive feedback signals. Even if you're not feeling powerful, if you're feeling like this, if you do this, then it'll send signals to your brain that you are feeling confident and you are feeling uplifted, like literally uplifted. This concept is rooted in my book called Move for Joy, an intuitive training approach to pursue God and fitness and find happiness. So something amazing happens when we move our body, and this is part of the science behind that. And I hope that this is one tip that has helped you in times when you're nervous, or when your kids or someone else around you is nervous, to help transform that nervousness into excitement by moving your body with the Lord. Okay, thanks so much, and I'll see you soon.